and we have almost nothing in common. But he introduced me to your comedy on YouTube, and at least on one level that he and I can connect. And so it helps. We watched at Christmas one of your specials on YouTube or your clips. Sorry, we didn't buy it. It was free. And even his 65-year-old mother was cracking up at it. So it was a nice little family get-together around the computer at Christmas.
Now, let me ask you a question. When did her family decide to accept you?
You know, I don't know if her dad ever did. He passed away a year and a half ago. But her mother, I think, really did during that process. I was kind of lucky in that she was already married before she married me. She married a white guy before. She was the white
okay. You were in.
So I figured by the time I came around, they were used to being disappointed. So.
Oh, good. Because in my new act, I actually talk about how Indians have this fear of black people for no reason.
Well, she did tell me, she said, you know, you might not want to bring up the fact that you're black right away. Like, I can kind of pass either way.
Right.
So
except when you go to
mention that right off the bat.
Yeah.
She told me it's there. It's definitely there.
Yeah, see, they'll know. If somebody's standing beside you at the urinal, they'll know.
But now her mom calls me her second son and her third child, so I'm in good.
Well, there you go. And now you can have little beige babies.
Yeah, they'll be beige no matter what.
Yeah, there's no way around this one.
Derek, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Let's get another question from the microphone here in Studio 4A.
Yes, girl who painted her toes every other color she could find.
My Chinese family is fairly unimpressed that I turned out to be a journalist, and I was wondering, what did your family think about you being a comedian?
Well, my family, again, this is the difference between an Anglo-Indian and a proper Indian. Proper Indians are a little more studious and have way more ambition. Anglo-Indians in general pride themselves on not doing very much. I'm sure you know some Anglo-Indians in your life, right? And you know, she's not denying it. She's like, yes, it's true. They are lazy. You know, my family was, my dad worked in a chicken plant. Like, he inspected dead chickens for a living, and my mom worked in Kmart in the cafeteria. So we weren't exactly the overachieving Indian family to begin with. And the fact that I was like an idiot in school, I'm not making this up. My mom would literally beg me to get 50%. She was like, son, just pass. That's all. Just get 50. I don't get pass. I'm like, I don't know, I guess.
Did you ever get punished for bad grades?
Yeah, but I think after a certain point, they're like, he's an idiot. They really did. I'm sure at some point my parents thought, we've got a retard on our hands. And I boxed, too, when I was a kid, so I could always blame it on that. Mom, I got punched in the head. I can't remember anything.
Let's see if we get another caller on the line. Let's go to, excuse me, I hit the wrong button. Let's go to Manpreet. Do I have that right in Grand Rapids?
Yep, you bet.
Yep, you got it.
Go ahead, you're on the air.
First of all, Mr. Russell Peters, I'm a big fan. I'm actually also a brown guy. And
I figured with a name like Manpreet. And you're a Punjabi guy, no less.
Exactly. No, my question was, you know, from some of the older Indian community, would you say they view negatively or positively through some of your material?
What, say that again? What?
Asking about older Indians, do they view you positively or negatively?
Do they view me positively or negatively? I don't know. I'm not an old Indian guy. I mean, I am, but I hide it. You know, I don't know. I think depending on what their deal is, it's one of those things where some are proud and some are embarrassed, you know?
Yeah,
and, I think that's a personal preferencing, and that's with comedy in general. Like, some people like it or some people don't.
Yeah.
We've got this email from Sakura. I'm an Asian American interested in comedy. I'm curious to know which ethnic group you find the easiest to poke fun at, and related to that, is there any ethnic group you absolutely won't make fun of, or is everybody open to attack?
Everybody is open to attack. I will not touch religion. That's the only thing I don't talk about. Just because people are a little crazy with religion nowadays, and I'm not a really religious guy, you know. And I was actually, a few months ago, I was dating a born-again Christian, and that was interesting. Because before her, I'm not trying to, can you say, I dated a porn star before her.
Uh-huh.
And so, you know, the contrast from, you know, way too much sex to zero is great. But then I started, like, she was like a genuine born again, like, she was really into Jesus. And that, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm into you. You be into Jesus and me. Can you? But I was honestly getting jealous of Jesus. Because she was like, I will never love anyone as much as I love Jesus. I'm like, I'm right here. And she was like, I'm going to go to the mall. I go, will Jesus be at the mall? And then I show up at the mall, and there's a guy named Jesus parking cars. Are you Jesus? And then,
You do a lot of, fair to say, blue material.
Would you say so?
I think so,
I
yeah.
have a foul mouth on me. Except for here, because I love you, and I would never.
Never, ever do that. No, of course not here. Do you find that, do you do that because you like it? Do you do it because the audience is expected? Why?
I don't know. I think the more comfortable I am, the more I speak like how I speak. And sometimes, sometimes you get, I don't really go up and go, like, when I go dirty on stage, I don't actually do it because I'm set out, I'm going to do dirty tonight. It's kind of like, that's the way the wind blew me. Well, sorry, when I say wind blew me, I mean kind of tossed me in that direction. And by tossed me, I mean kind of, jeez, I'm so nervous when I can't swear.
We'll be back with more Double Entendres in just a moment. You're listening to Talk of the Nation from NPR News. Our guest is Russell Peters, and let's see if we get another caller on the line. This is Tom. Tom with us from Nashville.
Hi, Neil. Thanks for taking my call.
Go ahead.
Hey, Russell.
Hey, Tom.
I want to say I think you're really witty and talented, but at the same time, I think it's unfortunate that in your routine you kind of made light of the practice of beating children.
Oh.
And even saying, white folks, you need to beat your kids.
Yeah, that's okay. What's wrong with that? I got beat, Tom. There's nothing I can do about it. See, I grew up in a culture where beating your kid is okay. And by beating your kid, I don't mean pull out an iron and burn the kid. I'm not talking Good Times and Penny. I'm talking, like, and when I say I got beat, comedy is about exaggeration. I mean, I honestly think if you beat your kids, you should only have to beat them 2 or 3 times in their life, and they'll get the idea. If you have to continually beat your kid, that's a problem. And that's your kid's problem, mostly, because he didn't learn the first couple of times. When I talk about my dad beat me, dude, my dad beat me, honestly, maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, but I don't forget them. And he would, if you do it the right way once, all he has to do is give you the same look he gave you the first time, and you remember what that felt like, and you go, yeah, I didn't like that.
Is anything off limits?
Religion, just religion.
Just religion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope this next question from the audience is not off limits. Go ahead.
This guy got beat, too, by the way.
Is that right?
Obviously, that means I'm Indian. But
yes.
I actually watched Russell Peters live in North Carolina, and as college students, they're very receptive to that kind of humor. My question is, do you ever have audiences where you've actually offended someone and had them react negatively in a live audience, and how would you deal with that situation?
Well, I mean, if they get offended, I don't think they should have been at my show in the first place. I react however. I had one guy get up and swear at me and call me a racist, and then I looked at him and he was a white guy. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm confused. What are you offended about? And I was in the middle of doing Chinese jokes. It's not like I was like, hey, white people this, white people that. I don't ever do that. I always make sure that everybody gets hit exactly. It may not be the same way, but it's with the same velocity. You can't go easier on someone and harder on the next person. You gotta. I mean, the only people I go a little bit harder on is my own people, and that's because they're my people. And you're always a little harder on the ones closest to you.
We have another question at the mic from one of your own people. I think a girl from Canada.
No, the brown guy came back. He was like, really?
Quickly, we just have a little time left.
This is the pretty girl from Canada. Are you from Canada?
My parents are.
Oh, how'd you guys deny us all of a sudden?
Sorry. Well, actually, he just answered my question. But I was wondering, how did you grow up with people's reactions to you? Like, in school, would people ever react badly to you if you ever had, like, a ethnic moment?
An ethnic moment?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the name of my book, My Ethnic Moment. Well, see, growing up was very different for me. When I was growing up, I grew up around the black kids, So the racial jokes would fly back and forth all day because when you hang around black guys, that's all you do is snap on each other all day. And they would always hit me with the 7-Eleven jokes and the curry smuggler. That was their big one, curry smuggler. Hey, curry smuggler. And I would make lip jokes and you don't know your dad jokes and stuff like that. And that's honestly how I grew up. So it was just between me and the black guys all the time. And then if the Filipinos came in the fray, they'd get it too.
Russell Peters, thanks very much for being with us today.
Thank you, Neil Conan.